Chris Black coming live to you from beautiful Atlanta, Georgia. Country Chris mode is engaged. Jason, how are you?
I'm on day 2 of a little bit of a hangover from the Emily Oberg book release party. I'm getting through it, though.
I was crushed to miss that. I heard rave reviews. I heard there were French fries available, and Emily paid the whole bill, which is really nice of her.
It was very nice of her. Obviously, it was a business expense, I'm assuming.
Of course. No, it was on the Platinum Business Amex, not the personal.
I just got a new Amex card, actually. This is not a plug, but I got one that has flowers on it. How do you feel about that, Chris?
Oh, damn. I didn't know they did a Hockney edition.
No, it's less Hockney, and it's more just like your aunt painted some flowers on an Amex card.
So you got the anti-mex?
I got the anti, yes. I was just told by my partner that I'm getting it, so that's why I have it. It's just sitting on my desk. I don't know what to do with it.
Are you talking about your Amex partner or your personal, like your life partner?
Great question. Important distinction. My life partner.
Because I call when I call Amex for help, I refer to them as partner, just so they feel kind of a little more uplifted, and maybe that will help me.
Right. You use their speak, and it kind of helps. They're like, oh, he's one of us.
Exactly.
They're one of us.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I'm in ATL, and it was a real journey to get here, Jason, and it was some southern stuff that got me fucked up. You know what I mean?
Okay, so some southern stuff. When does that start? Because you leave LAX, you hop on the 4 a.m. flight. I mean, what's the opposite of a red eye? That's what you take.
Sure. It's a beautiful, clear blue eye for me. So I'm on the blue eye. I'm on the blue eye at 7:15, thanks to my Japanese eye drops. And the flight is fine. You know what I mean? I use the Wi-Fi. I'm very productive.
Fine. It wasn't good. It wasn't bad.
Yeah,
it was just...
The problem with any flight leaving from LAX that isn't going to JFK is that the crowd isn't hot enough. That's the reality. You know what I mean? Like you get on that you get on that LAX plane and it looks like it's going to the OnlyFans retreat. You know what I mean? It's different. It's different when you go to JFK.
So unless you're flying directly to New York City, the plane is full of a bunch of slack-jawed yokels where you are surprised that they could rub enough coins together to buy a ticket.
Well, no, not even.
Let alone have a device that has a QR code on it or know what a QR code is.
Exactly. Well, now it's a lot of like guys that work at Turner, or Netflix, commuting. So they're tapping away on their MacBook Pros. I see the Slack application open. They're wearing, like a Warner Brothers dad hat. That's kind of the vibe. It's like a cool dad in Silver Lake vibe, but he actually lives in Atlanta.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Now,
so it's not like a Toluca Lake Yacht Club kind of vibe. It's more...
yeah. It's a little cooler than that, but they still carry to me, so it ain't that cool. But anyway, so I'm on the flight.
Oh damn!
I know no shots at your people, but I'm on the flight. Flight's fine. I get off the flight, and Jason, kind of. I mean, I'm not going to blame you, but you have kind of preached about Sixt car rental and how they have high-end automobiles, and et cetera. So I'm here. I'm in Atlanta. I'm displaced for a while due to a renovation.
You're not going to put this on me, are you?
I'm going to gently put it on you.
All right.
But so I'm like, you know what? Let me check out Sixt. I'm going to be in Atlanta for a month. I want to have a nicer automobile. We might be doing some southern road trips to kill some time. This would be great. Let me stay in the family and get a BMW 5 Series. Okay. Price is pretty reasonable. I book it on Sixt, I would say approximately 3.5 weeks ago. Okay. I'm really, I'm a prepared guy. I'm a type A. I'm a Virgo. So I deplane. I did have to check a bag, unfortunately. I got that. I did see someone from high school at baggage claim, chose not to speak to them. Went straight to the rental car, area.
At what point have you lost your wallet yet, or is that still to come?
No. The Sling card holder is safely in the pocket. Okay. And I even have my keys, which is kind of nice too. So I make it to the rental car area. I take the air train to the rental car area, and the rental car area is teeming with people. Like, it's like an anthill. And I'm like, this is a little weird. This is a lot of fucking people. Like, I know it's a Friday afternoon. It's like 2:00, but like...
You're like, damn, is Freaknik in town?
Exactly.
What's all this mess?
Exactly. Is Freaknik back? But luckily, and we'll get to this, but Freaknik for white people, which is college football, is in season.
Yeah.
So I get down to the Sixt counter. There's 15 employees. 2 of them are working. And I approach, I say, my name is Chris Black. Here's my credit card. Here's my ID. Here's my reservation number. And the woman looks at me and she's like, yeah, we ain't got no cars.
Yeah, why'd you come here for, stupid? We don't have no cars.
Yeah, literally, she looked at me like I was an idiot. And I was like, well, I mean, sure, but I have a reservation. Like, I'm sure it's fine. She's like, no, we're out of cars.
Sorry, Karen, we're out of cars.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, I lower my sunglasses and I say, what's the point of having a reservation then? You know, and
Classic Karen response. Classic
and,
Karen response.
And I'm holding a Starbucks, of course. And, and she's like, well, let me explain to you. Some cars come back and they need an oil change, you know. And I'm like, look, I don't need you to explain to me how automobiles work. Like, I understand they need service, but I need you to explain to me why a reservation just doesn't mean anything. And she was like, I'm trying to help you. I'm like, well, you're not trying to help me. I'm like, you're not trying to help me because you're not giving me a car. So I have to, we get into a verbal altercation. Of course, I keep it cool because I'm 40 now. I'm more mature. I don't yell. I don't scream.
Yeah, he's built different now.
I'm built different now. So then I go to I find a counter, a low rental car place counter, someplace I've never even heard of. And I approach and I'm like, yo, the guys upstairs at 6th, fuck me raw dog. I need a car ASAP for a month. What do you got? And she's like, this woman is very nice. And she basically starts to tell me that it's gotten so crazy. There's guns pulled on rental car people like often because they're constantly out of cars and no one's helpful and they just don't stop accepting reservations.
Yeah.
And they just take as many reservations as they can, no matter how many cars they have.
Well, that's how rental car companies have always been.
Yes, but I think people are actually traveling now.
If we don't do it this way, then our whole business model fails, I guess. It's like, sort of like that's what it is.
It's like gyms.
Yeah.
It's like gyms. They expect you not to show up, you know. So I'm at this low rent car rental counter. This woman's telling me stories about having shit thrown at her, and luckily the COVID plastic has stopped, you know, the latte from hitting her. She's very nice. And she's like, all right, I got you, sweetheart. It's going to be $3,600. And I was like, that's a lot.
You're like, what color is the Bentley going to be?
Yeah, I'm literally like, all right, so we got the Lambo truck. It's got rims. and she's like, you know what? Hold on, sweetheart. I'm going to make you a Coca-Cola employee. We'll knock $1,000 off that. No problem.
Wow.
I was like, okay, this is some real ATL shit. She's looking out for me. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do this because I'm at my wit's end. Like I haven't eaten all day. You know, I'm kind of starting to lose it. I got to get out of there. I have stuff to do. So I'm gonna eat the extra stack. Then I walk out. You know, I get my paperwork and I walk out to pick out my car. You know, 100 people in line to get a car, and I'm starting to notice. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? And then someone is polite enough to explain to me that Auburn is playing University of Pennsylvania. So all of these people are traveling to Atlanta and then renting cars and driving to Alabama. And that is the issue here. So it's literally, it looks like you're in Europe in the middle of the summer. There's like guys in tank tops like sleeping on the floor to get a rental car. It's insane. Like, it's insane. Like, you know, the kind of guy that travels with just a duffel bag and like a tank top and shorts. It's like there's like 40 of those guys laying on concrete.
I got a bottle opener on the bottom of my flip flops. What else do I need?
Exactly. These guys are laying on concrete in a parking deck. Okay. That's how long they've been waiting.
Okay, so it's giving Hurricane Katrina.
It's full Katrina.
And all they want to do is watch the South Carolina Gamecocks take down the.
Yeah, they want to see the Ward Dam Eagles. You know, so I'm surveying the situation. I'm looking for VIP treatment, and I realize that Chris, you fucked up. You know, because, and I said this to you yesterday in the group chat, I fucked up because rental cars are supposed to be Chevy Malibus. They're supposed to be Toyota Camrys.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be maybe a Tahoe if you're feeling spendy. And I was too big for my britches. I thought I needed a nice car, and I learned my lesson, and I got fucked by 6, and I'll never make this mistake again. I get on my Uber application. I book an SUV. And I go to an Enterprise rental car offsite right near my parents' house.
Smart.
And guess what I leave with, Jason?
Hopefully an American-made pickup truck.
That's right. A beautiful Dodge Ram 1500 crew cab.
Oh, only Rams. What color? Gunmetal?
It's a nice... Yeah, exactly. I'd call it gunmetal.
Okay.
It's the only car they have left. I've never driven a truck in my life. I get in, I turn it on, and it's just blasting 94.9 The Bull, New Country.
Okay, how many head of cattle can you tow in the 1500?
I could fit at least 2 in the back seat and 2 in the bed. I
was talking about the trailer. I was talking about the towing capacity.
That's thousands of pounds, tons possibly.
Oh, okay.
So I've decided. So they were like, you can bring this back next week and get like a regular car, but I need to admit something to you, Jason.
Mm-hmm. I think Cinderella likes how the slipper fits.
The slipper's fitting tight, and it's nice.
You like being you. So this is is this the first time you've ever had a truck in your possession as your daily driver?
I've never driven a truck in my entire life for 1 second.
Really? That's
never.
how gay you is?
That's right. That's right. And you know what? I put down the dick and I picked up, the rifle, and it's different now. And I am I've been cruising around. I haven't changed the radio station. I'm like, you know what? I'm going full character here. If I'm going to drive a truck, I'm going to listen to New Country Radio.
Okay, so she's going method down in ATL.
I'm going Daniel Day-Lewis vibes down here.
Okay.
I haven't hauled anything yet, but I think I might volunteer to kind of lay some pine straw or something for my parents, just to get the kind of full.
You said pine straw?
Yeah, that's. Are you?
The fuck is pine straw?
You're not
Sounds like something that the Major League Baseball has banned.
You don't know what pine straw is?
No, I mean I could do the context clues that it's straws of pine wood. Is that near where we're at?
It's a natural type of mulch.
Got it.
It's something that we hear in the
Is that
South.
what they charge you $30,000 to put in front of your house in WeHo?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I wish. No, no. It's so what you would do is they would deliver 30 bales and they'd place them where they need to be. But then if you're a real one, you get out there and you spread it yourself by hand. That's right.
I ain't no pussy.
Exactly. I'm going to do this by hand.
I'll do all my own mulching, motherfucker.
Country Chris Mode is engaged. I would love all of my Atlanta local listeners to check out 94.9 The Bull. I'm learning a lot about country music, and I even discovered kind of a backup theme song for us that I shared with you.
Yeah, that song, it's called Gone. I didn't get a chance to listen to it yet.
Honestly, not bad. It's Dierks Bentley. He pronounces it Dirks, but I'm not, I'm not going to do him that service.
Okay, so his name is, he spells it Dierks, like Dirks with an IE, right?
Yeah,
But he wants you to say it's Dirks.
Yeah, and I don't think he's problematic. I don't think.
It's like when your friend Steve asks you to call him Steve, and all of a sudden.
Exactly.
I don't know about that, Dierks.
Exactly. But the song is called Gone, so I think it's a nice backup for us just to have, and maybe we could see if we can get him on the show. Probably.
Is it also about when your chick goes around and starts tricking off?
I mean, every country song is about beer or your chick tricking off. That's kind of the. If it's not a cold one, it's a cold heart.
Ooh, I'm all out of Coors.
Exactly.
And my ball and chain can't stop sucking that truck stop dick.
That's it. This is it, bro.
I'm up to my last nerve.
I'm gonna see how long I can do this. I probably have a week in me, and then I'll take it back for the all new Malibu. But
no, when I was that reminds me, when we were in Palm Springs, the Appalachia of California, I did the same thing. We didn't have a rental car because it's so close, but once we got there, we put on the country music station on the radio.
Yeah.
And we never turned the dial because it's just always there.
That's right.
If the commercials play, they're like funny.
They're good.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
When the commercials play on Power 106, it's just like bail bonds and shit. And then the country station's just like, we got a carnival on Friday.
It's like they live in a different universe, commercial wise. Absolutely. But it was, I'm glad that you understand kind of why you've done this too, so you kind of understand that it puts you in a zone, and if I buy a pair of boots, I'm going to let you know.
So is there a chance that you maybe one day own your own pickup truck?
I don't think so.
Okay.
It's a little, you know what the real problem is? Actually, if it was the all new,
it's a bridge too far.
Ram 1500, it doesn't have CarPlay capabilities. That's what we're looking at. It's got a small screen.
Well, if it's a GMC truck, I mean, I think the GMC family sort of recognized that CarPlay is way too gay to ever install it. Factory installed on any of their products.
Okay.
That's how the Japs win, is sort of what their CEO would say.
I would have to take it to a local chop shop to get CarPlay.
Yeah, I'll do CarPlay. CarPlay, but you didn't get it from me, all right?
When I raise it 3 inches and put shocks on it, I can also get the CarPlay kind of put in.
They're like,
from the
look,
same
I'll
guy,
raise
hopefully.
it. I'll do a Baja lift on it, but I ain't no commie. I ain't gonna do your AirPlay. You wouldn't even listen to your This American Life.
Oh, you want to listen to podcasts in a truck? This thing will blow up. You know, this is like Speed the movie.
Yeah, there's
You
a
put
kill switch
NPR.
on here. If you ever listen to the daily podcast in this truck, you got 10 seconds. You ever seen the movie Speed? Kind of like that. You're all tatted up, but they're gay tats. I'm watching you, boy.
But we're gonna get you out here because we got to work on the shows that are coming up, and I think we need to I think it'd be good for us to be off site, you know, together in the writers' room.
We're gonna do an
whiteboard.
offsite touch base. Some people rent the Four Seasons in Kauai, things like that. My speed is your mom's laundry area.
Exactly.
Worst case, we'll go to Office Max. We'll buy a whiteboard and then return it before we leave.
Yeah, that's a good
unless your mom has one already around the house.
I think if we went to my dad's accounting firm, there might be an extra room for us, which could kind of be sick.
You mean a war room?
We could have a war room vibe where it's just us, some laptops, maybe your pour over travel kit that you bring with you, and then we'll just kind of get to it.
My AeroPress keychain with my Bernie sticker on it.
Exactly. But that
maybe we can go while we're in Atlanta. I mean, I'll go to Atlanta for a few days. I just want to see the leaves turning. If I could be honest, selfishly,
Yeah.
I mean the show is good too. But
you guys,
I think we should go and maybe find a couple open mics in ATL.
I mean, we could do.
And just kind of try out some material. It's secret. You know how Dave Chappelle will come up?
We could do that. I mean, I think it would be a little more disappointing than Chappelle unless. I mean, maybe let me talk to the comedy community here and see kind of where the best place for us would be, because it's not like
I've
LA.
been speaking with the comedy community.
It's not like
Atlanta.
It's not like LA where they do shows at like the laundromat. You know what I mean? We have real venues here.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
sick.
It's like there's classic comedy in Atlanta. And I think maybe we could get on like a black show and really see how tough we are.
They're gonna eat your ass up at Chocolate Sundays, Chris.
I know. I think
Golly.
we need to get some feedback from the local community, and Chocolate Sundays could be for us.
Yeah. We're not looking for yes people. We're looking for no people. You don't learn anything by killing.
That's right.
You learn by bombing. And I think if we go to one of your urban rooms, you will bomb.
No, I'm happy. We could probably go do a quick 15 in Birmingham and get right out of town. You know,
leave the Dodge running. That's what we'll tell the valet guy. And they're like, I don't work valet.
You and I taking the Dodge Ram 1500 to Birmingham to do 15 minutes of stand up in an urban room is truly what dreams are made of. And if somebody from development and Hulu doesn't call us just based on that idea, then something Hollywood is failing. You know, Hollywood is failing.
Yeah, it's a tough sell for a lot of the rooms right now, but I think we could find our angle.
Yeah, I think we could find our angle. But yeah, we're going to work on the show. That being said, there is a low ticket alert for the Troubadour and Brooklyn. So I'm a little upset about that, Jason, because Brooklyn Music Hall of Williamsburg selling better than Bowery Ballroom off the rip is unfortunately proof that our wonderful listeners do live in Brooklyn, and they not only do they live in Brooklyn, but they're not even willing to take the train to Manhattan to have a better experience in the actual city. So I'm a little confused.
I worry that because I did a lot of canvassing in Brooklyn last week, and I think being there kind of tilted the scales over. Mm-hmm. But I think the real issue is that like just literally the Brooklyn venue and the Troubadour are smaller capacity venues, so those are the ones that are going to sell out first.
Okay, I didn't know if
which is what I've been telling myself.
Okay, so you did your same canvassing route you do for AOC, but just for us. You were knocking on doors. Mm-hmm. You were at the Starbucks on Bedford, kind of touching skin, doing the work.
I was at the Sephora on Bedford, faking my own handcuffs behind my back. I was like, I did not steal this lip kit. It just landed in my bag on accident.
This self-tanner was in my tote when I got here, and I'm not going to stand for this bullshit.
I don't even know what drunken elephant is. Get these handcuffs off of me. Like, this is bullshit. And the line is too long. That's why I stole it. The line doesn't move fast enough.
The line is too long. I don't even want your little free gift. It's trash. I don't want your little stocking stuffers. I don't even collect Sephora miles. Fuck y'all.
We gotta do that. The next time I'm at the Bedford Sephora, I will pull out the zip ties. Whatever, maybe one green, one blue as like a little dog whistle to our fans.
What if I actually, this is a good idea. I dress up like a security person at Sephora, I arrest you, and we get it all on film, kind of as a bit. Like maybe during the show we can cut to some pre-tapes, like they do on Jimmy Kimmel. You can pretend you're dead the whole time I'm giving a speech at Sephora.
Damn, I already forgot about him laying on the floor while Abbott Elementary got the Emmy. That's so. I mean, the commitment to the bit, I appreciate that, but
come on, bro.
I didn't watch the Emmys, but
I did.
I can't imagine what context that was.
Like, bro, you got to think this shit through. You know that ain't gonna go over well. You know that ain't gonna go. I mean, the only thing that redeemed him is that she was on the show like that week. I bet she was already scheduled to come on.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they made up and he apologized, but it was just like, dude, no one cares. Like, it's not
only because like Tom Cruise called her at her house and said, you have to be cool with this or else.
Yeah, exactly.
You swim with the fishes.
It's just not. It's not funny enough. It wasn't funny enough to.
But I mean, was there like pre-context about like, oh, like you'll win an Emmy over my dead body? Is like
no. It was
which
part
is
of the
also
bit.
just as bad.
No, it was part of the present. Him and Will Arnett. That was the presentation. Like Will Arnett dragged him out. It was like part of the joke of giving away the award, and he just stayed down the whole time instead of getting up.
Got it.
It was. I don't think they thought it out. Some of these Hollywood guys, Jason, they're out of touch.
No, Kimmel's the king of being out of touch. The Man Show, him and Adam Carolla have not aged well in terms of racism and stuff like that.
I mean, he's aged better than Carolla. Everyone has,
sure.
But you're right. It's not great.
No, Kimmel used to do this impression of Karl Malone, I think that was quite racist.
Yeah, I forgot about. Yes, that came to light and wasn't great. And I guess he did it a lot. It was like reoccurring.
No, he did do it a lot, and it was not a favorable impression by any means.
I have to say, Karl Malone, the mailman, he delivers. I mean, I'm familiar with his career and stats, but also he's of all the people to choose, it's not like he was like a big personality. From what I remember, it wasn't like he was a Jordan or even a Pippen even.
But those are the best impressions are like that, where you kind of stumble upon it and you do like a weird voice and someone's like, oh, you kind of sound like
true
starting center forward Karl Malone, the mailman, and you're like, you know what, I kind of do sound like
you're right.
That.
I do.
I'm going to build my career off of this.
So last night I went to my old friend Tim's wedding. Here in Atlanta. That's part of the reason I'm here.
Okay.
And Tim and I know each other from like middle school, like hardcore era.
Man.
It was really nice to be around more than 5 guys with face tattoos that aren't rappers. It was just old hardcore guys that are now like barbers and tattoo artists. Like hot guys, you know what I mean? But literally have like cursive, where their hairline stops.
And what do those words say on those face tats? Do you know?
I tried not to get close. I was a little intimidated, if I'm going to be honest.
Sure. I mean, that's the whole point of getting tatted up on the face.
I came in my little Drake suit, looking cute, and these guys were kind of, busting out of their short sleeve tops.
I had the Ben Davis press for this wedding.
But if I got close, I feel like it would have been. It would have felt narky to try to read the tats, but I'm sure it said something, like nothing gold can stay true till death, stuff along those lines. You're familiar with the kind of the phrases.
Yeah, my friends are my fucking family, and I'll fucking kill you if you look at them.
But I was also able to just reminisce with some old friends about the era of warehouse living.
Warehouse living, like loft style living.
I wouldn't say loft. I would say more industrial flop house
with the roaches and rats.
With the roaches, well, in Atlanta, it was the warehouses. There was several that were inhabited by punk, skate, hardcore, and they would do these kind of pretty good jobs, like elaborate build outs where there'd be like 6 guys living in this giant warehouse. They all have nice rooms, and there'd be shows in the main area.
Okay, so it's like a love it or list it for squatters is kind of the vibe.
Exactly, yeah. So I was able to, because I always forget that the first house I lived in was called Squaresville, which was me and 5 guys, and we had shows in our kitchen.
But yeah, you're a hardcore ass loser when you name your house.
First of all, bitch,
you're like, oh, this is a pretty nice house. What's it called? And you're like, oh, I usually just go by my address. I didn't know I had to
First
name
of all,
it.
bitch, I didn't name it. It was named before I lived there, just to be clear.
That's what Kappa Phi said too.
I just can't believe that I ever lived like that. So it took me back to that era of my life, and I
No, the thought. I mean, does that mean that you're a member of Mattress on the Floor Mafia?
absolutely not. I always have a bed. I always had a bed. You know, I always had a bed. I was the only clean one. I mean, it was fairly clean, but obviously when Mastodon is playing in your kitchen, it's only going to be so clean. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's only going to be so clean.
Did Mastodon play in your kitchen?
Yeah, it was like a thing.
Damn, bro.
It was like a thing. I mean, yeah, it had like
That's the Hesher version of Daft Punk's playing at my house.
Yes, exactly. I mean, if you were around during that era,
Mastodon is clogging my toilet as we speak.
Mastodon's doing coke in my backyard that's overgrown with kudzu.
Oh, nice.
If you were around in that era, it had like a checkerboard floor and like red walls. And like, I've met people as an adult that were like, oh shit, you live there? Like, I've been there, or my band played there.
Right.
Which is very strange. Very strange.
You're a legend, bro.
It was a nice little throwback to a different era.
Yeah, and I'm sure it was you were very grateful to be able to get in and get out, where those people have to go back to their lives of having friendship tattooed on their forehead while they're doing a bang trim.
Well, unfortunately, those guys seem to be doing pretty good. You know, I think that if they all seemed pretty happy. They had wives and girlfriends. You know, they probably have like nice muscle cars.
Nicer motorcycle than I have, probably.
Definitely, yeah. Oh, the 71 Triumph is polished.
Fucked a lot more chicks who have bangs than I do.
Yeah, that's bro. Yeah,
than
definitely.
I have.
Yeah, the blunt. There was no blunt bangs. I don't think at the wedding, which was maybe there was, and I just wasn't paying attention. But yeah, it was a good time. Congratulations
That's the point of a wedding.
to Tim and Renee, and you guys. I mean, it was you know, it was nice to be at a wedding that's like casual. I've been to so many lately that are so serious that this was just kind of like a good time among friends, and it was relaxed, and I really appreciated that.
Oh, really?
Delicious matcha lemonade available as well.
Matcha lemonade? Matcha lemonade at a casual wedding?
I know. That's what I thought.
And also, the green is going to stain the lower piano, Chris. Watch out.
No, I was very careful. I didn't ask for a straw, but I almost did.
Okay, well that sounds great. I love wedding vibes and wedding season, so I'm a little jealous.
I know you are. I mean, you just love to get dressed up. You look so hot in a suit, you know. So it's kind of get it.
I need more suits ASAP.
I know. Well, we can talk about. I think we should we're going to get in touch with someone to dress us for our shows. I think it's time.
Yeah. Well, clock's ticking, Queen.
Don't worry. This is my department, but I also wanted to, I mentioned this to you earlier, but I have a little bone to pick with a certain actor that we're not going to name.
I'll name him. Her. Them.
There's a square-jawed, HGH using actor that went from nerd to hunk recently.
Okay.
And
don't come for Zac Efron.
I would never. No, Zach's the homie. You know, I would never do that.
Okay.
He quote unquote broke his jaw. So this actor is on the Hollywood Reporter, and the headline is actor and actor's partner on why they skipped an Emmys after party. Quote, our COVID boundaries are a lot stricter. And this actor that is saying he's too careful to go to an Emmys after party. We were recently at a party with him with at least 75 people shoulder to shoulder. He was not wearing a mask. This is bullshit. What do you think?
I'm dying to know which actor you're talking about, first of all. I mean, who could it be? This person, he said, I will not skip leg day to attend an Emmy party because I am, quote, a lot stricter.
Yes, exactly. So I'm just a little.
But we did just see him at a house party. Not, week and a half, 2 weeks ago?
Right before the Emmys. So I'm just wondering if this posturing is going to get him some roles, or if maybe he just had a little slip up after too much 818.
We caught him lacking, is what it sounds like. And I guess the name of the game is blackmail. What do we do to kind of...
Well...
I'll be like, hey, Kumail, we can make this go away. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, look, as we try to break into Hollywood, and I'm also trying to break into HGH, he could be a nice friend for us to have.
He's an ally.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if I approached him at the Gold's Gym in Venice and he had his fanny pack on, he would be holding and would be able to kind of hook me up.
Yeah, you'll look at him, give him that knowing HGH glance, and he'll take one look at you and be like, let's take a walk for us. Let's take a walk.
I give him a crisp hundo. We bump chins, and then he kind of puts a shot in my ass, and I'm over to the squat rack.
No.
You
You and Kumail coming out of the bathroom stall, both two guys at once. Like, what's going on here, fellas? Like, nothing. I gotta go find some plates, though. I don't know what just happened, but I have to find the 300-pound kettlebell that looks like a gorilla's head.
So I just wanted to kind of put that out there because I'm a little confused, because it's just interesting.
It's conflicting information.
It's conflicting information. And that's kind of, since we're on the outskirts of Hollywood and I'm not an insider, I feel like this is kind of our duty to talk about this stuff because no one's going to talk about it.
We have the privilege. Yeah. XO, them jeans.
No one's going to talk about it. But I mean, once again, How Long Gone's on the front lines.
We're on the front lines narking on celebrities who have never heard of us for fake virtue signaling about not wanting to go to an Emmy party because of being a lot stricter when all he wants to do is go play his Nintendo Switch because
he told the driver at the Emmys to keep the Escalade running. I didn't even turn off the Call of Duty. I'm coming right back for this. Like, I'm not going to any parties. I'm not going to win any awards. I have to get out of here.
The only reason why he didn't go to the Emmy parties was because he knew that there were no Pokemon to catch in that area.
Like, I checked it out, babe. It's not worth it for us. Not tonight. We ordered quarter sheets and the guy's on his way, so let's just get out of here.
What's the fucking point, babe?
What's the fucking point, babe? Oh God. I just had to report that kind of news. And I also want to pray for one of our homies, friend of the show, Post Malone.
Posty took a tumble.
First of all, Jason, I don't know if you've checked out that Twitter account where I found this, but there's a great Twitter account that friend of the show, Joe Coscarelli, put me onto.
Shout out to Joe. His book's out, available in stores now.
It's called Glock Topickz with a Z.
Glock Topickz.
That's right. It's Glock _Topickz, TOPICKZ.
I'm hard as a rock hearing the name of this Instagram account.
Glock Topickz on Twitter showed me a video of Post Malone last night at one of his giant arena shows.
Glock Topickz.
He's God damn it. He's obviously zooted on the cookies, you know what I mean? And he's already smoked 150 cigarettes before his set, but he's high-fiving fans on the catwalk.
Happy as a koala bear.
I mean, he's one of the top
rolling around.
One of the top celebrities out because his attitude is good, his vocals are good, he can shred. I mean, there's nothing not to like.
What he is comfortable. That's what I like to see about him because you got Gaga on the Chromatica wearing like 11 pounds of stainless steel apparati.
You're right.
You got all these people wearing skims that we can't even access, like different kind of skims that civilians don't know about.
You ain't got these skims.
Post Malone's wearing a hockey jersey, Kevin Smith style, and some fucking like Pikachu Crocs. And he's like, yeah, I'm also making $1 million per show.
Yeah,
and I just kind of like walk around in a backing track and like give people $5.
He was giving people $5, and then there's a trap door, and he falls in the trap door, and it looks like Post Malone might have left a couple ribbies on stage, like he might have cracked a couple. NFL style. The stage lowered their helmet. You know what I'm saying? And Post Malone is suffering. But I just want to prayers up to our guy Posty because I was hoping to
prayers up.
I want to go catch that tour just for the Zach Bia opening DJ set. I wonder what because K Tronada opening for the weekend. K Tronada is like a performer. He's giving it to you. He's on this crazy like platform. You think Zach Bia's just got like a picnic table with a black sheet over it and a couple of CDJs, or do you think Big Bia ponied up for the production?
Well, Bia will come out of his own pocket for that. He will drop $12,500 for like a pretty impressive little rig that will travel around in a couple Pelican cases. I'm assuming that's an expense that is worthwhile. I mean, maybe there's probably it's probably just like a little wheelie DJ setup. and then they plug into, he probably has some sick ass visuals of, him signing shoes or something.
Do you think? Yeah, Zach Villa signing his record label's ASICS collaboration on just behind him the whole time.
It's just a highlight reel of him signing contracts for various things.
Do you now you're an insider. Now you're a DJ world insider, veteran of the game. You've done thousands of deals for yourself and others.
Both sides of the coin.
What do you think B is getting for an after party in let's say Chicago? Okay. What do you think? Post Malone, official Post Malone after party, Zach B a DJ set. He's probably on for an hour and a half. What do you think he's actually getting for that, cash wise?
I'd say like 10. 10 is a good offer.
Wow.
Something like that.
Not bad. No,
I mean it's perfect for him because he'll go on tour with Post Malone to 75 cities.
Yeah,
and he's probably getting whatever it is, $7,000 per show, $5,000 a show, whatever it is, to DJ some music for 30 minutes and take some pics and stuff like that. And then the after party on top of that, he'll be able to clear some pretty good cash,
Yeah, this is
by the end of the tour.
I'm proud of Bia because I think that when you're making money like him and you're popping the way he is, going on tour doesn't sound great. Like it sounds unnecessary. Like he can make that money somewhere else, is what I'm saying.
Right.
So for him to throw his stuff in Post Malone's private plane every night and then check into the Four Seasons in every city and make $10,000 a night, I don't know if I could do it. So I'm proud of him for kind of, treating it like I'm hitting the road like a real musician.
Yeah.
I think that's.
But I'm sure he's grown up idolizing all that stuff, and you want to see what it feels like to live a rock star lifestyle, and have the adoring fans, and you never really get over the adrenaline rush of performing on stage, in front of 50,000 people or whatever.
He's got the Mike Dean time slot, so the lights are still on. But luckily, when you're opening for an artist as big as
everyone's parents are still dropping their kids off when Bia is on.
There's probably thousands of people that run in to try to get as close to the front as possible.
Sure.
So you've kind of got that going for you. Whereas if you open for somebody in the mid range, maybe the fans aren't that rabid.
Yeah, and it's a great idea because Zach will just play a bunch of hits and everyone will love it. Versus having to sit through 38 minutes of Tory Lanez or something.
No, I mean, yeah, it's nice that the Post Malone's big enough where the record label doesn't force him to take some band with an EP, that's got 6 songs that no one's ever heard of, but they got $1 million record deal from a TikTok song.
Sure.
But it's nice to see him kind of doing God's work and putting Bia where he belongs, and that's in front of 25,000 people in Tacoma.
Prayers up to Posty. I feel I feel bad when you see. When I saw that video of him falling into a hole on stage, which is something that seems to happen pretty often nowadays. I feel like when I was a kid, you never really heard about it, but now,
no one's falling into
once every 2 or 3 weeks, a video surfaces on Twitter or Instagram or whatever, of just here's Playboy Cardi just falling off of a stage. Here's falling through a hole, getting burned by some pyrotechnics. What's going on with that?
I don't know. I like when you go into Willie Staley mode though and go, I didn't hear about that much. I think that it's just these guys might be a little too fucked up.
No shit.
Durkio getting blasted with pyro. Fam, pyro?
But also, Metallica got blasted by pyro, but he was an alcoholic at the time, probably.
That's what I'm saying. I think the through line here is drug and alcohol use. I don't think it's innovations in stage technology.
To me, I'm thinking pyro is like riding a roller coaster or doing a skydiving or some type of potentially life-threatening event where the payoff is cool, but it's maybe not worth it. And whenever pyro happens at a concert, it's okay, hot. It feels hot. Mm-hmm. That's pretty crazy. And then it's over, and that's it. You never think about it. So I'm we got air cannons, we got confetti, we got that CO2 blast. Yeah. There's so many lethal.
I like
options.
the pyro. I gotta say, the Killers did confetti blast. Great, cool. Weekend did pyro, cooler.
Okay,
it's cooler.
I mean, it's a primal instinct to be fascinated by fire.
It's one of the not 5 elements of hip hop, but just 5 elements.
Yes, fire, water, freights.
Exactly. You can't overlook that. You're right. It is primal. I think that's a nice way to put it.
It's primal.
What are you doing today? You got anything on the docket?
Just kind of a little chilling, I guess. After I'm done editing this, maybe go do a little exercise, make a little light dinner. I'm bummed that my Parmesan and fish diet has not really done anything great for me whatsoever.
So you're not.
I'm not experiencing any benefits whatsoever.
Okay, so are we going to go back to regular mode where you kind of eat whatever and
I don't know.
Drink coffee?
I really don't know. I was actually just thinking about it yesterday when we had Kirsty Godso on the show, and we were talking about like getting blood work done to find out like what foods you should be eating and not eating and all that stuff. And it was making me wonder if I should go do that and just see like, oh, like here's your problem. You should never be eating eggplant or whatever it is.
I think we should do it together and compare and contrast. I think that would be great for the audience.
Yeah, and then also because then it would be a write-off. So that's another reason why.
No problem.
We should be doing that.
No problem. Yeah, we can think about that. Yeah, I'm still kind of in recovery mode. I've had an action-packed weekend here.
Take your time.
And I need to I'm gonna just kind of ease into the southern swag. But it's also because there's nothing to do. So I'm already bored, but this might be good for me. I don't know what the answer is.
Interesting. Yet. So you've been there for 1 day, 2 days?
Well, I got here and then I immediately went to an opening at Jackson Fine Art for future guests on the show, Tabitha Soren, and friend of the show, Christy Bush, like a photography show. And there was an after party at this house that was next to the governor's mansion that had a helicopter pad.
Oh, okay. Hello.
And then yesterday, I had a full docket of exercise and then this wedding. So I'm just I'm gassed. I'm frayed.
All you have to do today is you and Pa park it in front of the lazy boy and just watch game after game of college football.
Well, it's pro today. College was yesterday. So my dad does like to. My dad likes to
pass the test.
My dad likes to work on Sundays like a real man, which I appreciate. But I'm sure after his nap, he will kind of ease his way into the NFL game day, where it's on from. I woke up yesterday, I went downstairs, and there was college football pregame on at 9 a.m.
That's nothing.
I'm like, what do these people talk about for 3 hours? The game doesn't start till noon. What on earth are these people talking about?
How sick it's going to be?
I guess that's true. I saw that Dave Holmes was at his alma mater, and there was a gay tailgate. And he was like, damn, I never thought I'd see this. And I was like, yeah, me neither, Dave.
Gay tailgate, huh? I mean, I'm sure the food's better.
I mean, I could imagine a gay tailgate at the Chromatica Ball, in the parking lot.
Yeah, that's less of a tailgate and more of like a tail ball.
There's like a Gatorade 5-gallon jug with GHB water in it. I think that sounds pretty cool to me. I think we should normalize tailgating in gay situations, like at like a Chromatica Ball. I think that would be a nice element to kind of add to that.
Okay, so like people are like, I got grilled cheeses. I made my own Just Dance barbecue glaze for these. The ribs have been in since last night. You understand me?
There's a lot of rich material to pull from in her catalog, because we were talking about Gaga with Rostam when we were at Rafi's last week, and we all have like a different favorite, which I think was kind of interesting.
That's the beauty of Gaga.
I mean, I love Gaga.
She has so many flawless eras.
I know.
And she really did come from the gutter.
It's really impressive. Like, you can like me, you can like country Gaga, you can like dance Gaga, you can even like Tony Bennett Gaga, which I think is underrepresented.
I forgot about that. Don't sleep.
That's what I'm saying. It's not bad. It's not. If you like standards, you've never heard them done better than Gaga.
Yeah, I like this idea. Speaking of the Gone effect, I just learned recently from Fox News, Glendale, California, fourth highest rent in America for rentals, not for
really.
Yeah, the average rent.
I was about to say, luckily you're not renting, sweetie. But that's so if you're trying to move to Glendale because you've heard Jason talk about how great it is,
exactly.
You need to get your money up, is what you're saying.
Yeah, the average rent is like $4,800 a month, something like that.
I mean, that is quite a lot, but isn't it? I feel like that's also maybe due to the fact that there's not a lot of like. I mean, it feels like a house. I mean, I don't see a lot of apartments. you know?
But they're building, I think mainly because Glendale is, by the Americana, there's all these high-rise buildings, luxury condos that have.
Oh, I see.
There's like a bunch of them. They have the gyms and the pools and all that stuff, and then they have like an area where you like watch TV by the pool.
Of course, yeah.
A restaurant in the lobby that's sort of just like a campus kind of cafeteria vibe.
Yeah. There's the movement of luxury apartment buildings to keep you on campus, with pool tables and like other stuff you don't need when this started, I was like, is this the decline of society where like you don't even have enough friends you have to force socialize with neighbors because you're such a loser? Is that
I think because real estate development companies and real estate owners, especially multifamily owners, those people are the ones who are making the most money, and they're like, how do we keep making more money? True. We're gonna sell on the fact that you never have to, you don't cancel your gym membership, cancel your blah blah blah, you don't need this anymore, it's all here. And then when the eventual apocalypse comes, you won't be legally allowed to leave your building. So this is set up pretty perfectly. The DoorDash comes straight to the lobby, probably karaoke night where you could find somebody to kiss. I'm sure there's a New Year's Eve party for everyone who doesn't want to go outside.
Definitely, it's buffet, but it's happening.
Buffet on the HOA will be a little bit higher this month. We did spring for kind of the top end prosciutto.
We did, yeah. We switched the pool to saltwater after so many demands, so the HOA is going up to 120, up 125 a month per resident. Yeah, I just don't. And then I have friends who've lived in buildings like that, and I'm always like, "What's the deal?" And they're like, "Honestly, it's like pretty nice. Like even if you don't really use it, it's like."
Yeah, I know. But whenever I ask somebody about like, like what gym do you go to or something like that, and they're like, and they say like, I just have a gym in my building, so I go to that. Yeah. Whenever they say that sentence, which I've heard so many times, it's always said with a little air of sadness to it, or like defeat or something like that.
Well, of course,
if it's that good, then be happier about it.
A gym, no, because they're not happy about it because they know that they could lose 10, and it's because the gym at their apartment building doesn't have the right equipment. It's like. It's 3 elliptical machines and a handful of dumbbells.
Yeah.
Can you imagine going to a gym that doesn't have a single woodway or curved treadmill? Even if it's free?
I think I'm going to be sick.
It's disgusting. It's honestly, it's something that appalls me deep in my gut.
So nothing with a curve at all.
Yeah, so you want me to run on this flat treadmill that says, I'm sorry, Nordic track? Like what is it? What is it, 1996? It's crazy what people do. It really is. Doesn't seem secure.
Lastly, I hope that I'm coming in clear on this podcast because I don't know if the Wi-Fi is good. I'm coming in from Dynamic Island. Are you hearing me clear on the Wi-Fi?
Did you take your boat?
I'm on island time now.
Did you take your boat there or did you swim? How did you get there?
I took the boat over to the Glendale Galleria Apple store and bought a one-way ticket to Dynamic Island. So now I have a brand new iPhone.
Is our long national nightmare of you having a tiny purple cell phone finally over and you've reached Uber driver status?
That's right. I have a black on black iPhone Pro, the regular size, not the grande.
So you went yayo mode.
I feel like Rick motherfucking owns with this all black phone, baby. Suck my dick.
Are you going case free? Are you gonna hit my dog at Peel's and cop one of those cases?
No, I'm never gonna get a case.
Okay, no, I would love to do that, but unfortunately, the way that I voraciously use my cell phone, it does cause injury.
So you're such a monster that you have to put a case on it. Mm-hmm. You don't want to do it. It's like when the dog has a muzzle on it. It's not for your safety, it's for theirs.
Exactly. No, exactly. Like who saved who?
Your Twitter fingers are registered weapons in Suffolk County, Georgia.
What is dynamic mode? Dynamic Island. I apologize. Dynamic mode is still on the treadmill. What does dynamic island mean? Because I see a lot of like Dan Frommer, types talking about this on Twitter.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's funny just because it's a funny term, but I'm still unclear on what it is because I'm not an incel, so I don't watch Apple keynotes.
Yeah. What is my version of dynamic island? So like on the top, when you're looking at the iPhone, at the top there's like a little a black kind of pill shaped area where the selfie cam is. You know what I'm talking about?
Okay. Yeah.
So they kind of took that area and are playing off the fact that they're able to, create perfectly black pixels on the screen because the technology is there. So they're able to take that size where the selfie camera is, and that area becomes like a little kind of control panel where you can see things and it can move. So if you have like a timer set at the gym.
So I just want to be clear, not to cut you off. This is absolutely pointless. Is the reality. This is like the touch bar on the MacBook.
It's like that, but I think it'll end up being it's just innovation. It's progress on
just
ways
innovation. Chris, it's just
no,
innovation.
I mean, we've been using our iPhones long enough, 10, 15 years of iPhones. Every year you're going to kind of get a little bit better. It's like when people, some random employee at Apple one day was like, oh, I'll just do, when you like copy and paste a password or something like that, it'll be like, oh, do you want to type in this password? And you just hit yes. Like little things like that, where over the years you take them for granted. At some point, they have to be birthed. Okay,
so you're a fan of,
and this is a birth of innovation. So basically, you're able to look at like what podcasts you're listening to, what your timer at the gym, or you're baking some Allison Roman sponge cakes or whatever it is. There's all those little things going on, and you're able to look at it without touching your phone, and it's kind of all there. So it's very convenient, and the phone's also always on. So when it's just sitting on the table, it'll say all that information on there.
Oh, okay.
And you never have to pick it up, and you never have to unlock it. It's just all there, and it's a slight improvement, but in a year it'll just be normal. It'll be like having a backup cam in your car.
Of course. Okay, so
and the thought of living off the island would be asinine.
Of course, that's insane.
But the name is off. The name is awful.
No, the name is cool. That's the coolest part about it. It's absolutely pointless, even though you just explained it to me, and you're obviously pilled. It's pointless. Like most innovations are so minuscule that they don't actually move the needle, but it does move the needle enough for people like you who are on Tim Cook's dick to go cop the new phone.
No, I didn't buy the phone for Dynamic Island. I don't give a fuck about it, but it happens to have it built in, so I will enjoy it. It's like having a steering wheel heater in the car. If someone's like, oh, for another $3,000 we'll install a steering wheel heater, I'll be like, I don't really see myself ever needing that. But if it's already there, included stock, I'll give it a ride.
Why don't you tell people about your new fridge you got with the TV on the outside then? If how much innovation, You're
not talking about my Samsung Smart TV right now. He knows and he's listening.
Your LG fridge that's tuned to Good Morning America all the time.
I don't know. I take milk off the list. Don't need any more. It's always trying to use
add
AI technology to add things to my shopping list.
If I get one more Amazon bill where AI technology has added stuff that I didn't add, I'm gonna kind of get mad. I'm gonna finally stop using Amazon.
It keeps telling me to buy a pumpkin because Halloween's around the corner. I'm like, by the time Halloween gets here, it's gonna be rotten. You fucking idiot.
AI, dumbass.
Don't say that too loud.
I won't. How long
AI,
gone?
we love you. I'm always rocking with AI. Don't kill my family with the drone.
Also, I want to say a quick thank you to everyone who bought my my zine with friend editions this week. Shout out to my man Oliver Shaw for helping me with that.
Shout out to Oli.
Shout out to Oli.
The zine is great, man. Great photos.
Thank you, Jason.
It looks awesome. Well composed.
Thank you.
Dead ass. I was thumbing through it, admiring it, and then I remember I took a shower immediately after, and I was in the shower like, damn, bro, should I get a fucking 35mm camera?
Wow. Okay, so I'm encouraging. I'm once again.
You're stimulating the artistic market of photography.
I'm fucking myself like Frank Ocean carrying the contacts. You can't get 35mm film right now. We don't need any more amateur bugs kind of clogging the pipelines.
Yashika, if you're listening, we'll send over the ad sheet.
Let's build.
We've got a lot of ideas for 2023.
Let's build. But yeah, thank you to everyone. And like I said earlier, get your tickets now for all of our shows, but especially Troubadour Music Hall. Those are going fast. We're going to announce guests soon. I'm still in my, my spreadsheet kind of organizing all of that stuff. People have a lot of travel schedules, shooting schedules, tour, etc. So just making sure we get the finest possible accompaniment, to our program. And then we have some great podcasts coming up this week.
Okay.
And thank you guys all for listening. Last week, 1975, Ben Gibbard from Death Cab for Cutie. Those were both very fun for us to do.
Yeah.
And hopefully fun for you to listen to.
And thank you to Kumail Nanjiani for ending COVID. That was really brave of you.
Kumail, I'll see you at the gym. And if you accidentally drop a 45 on my foot, I'm gonna let it slide.
Yeah, Kumail, when we see you at the gym, I know for a fact that Bane mask that you have to restrict your breathing is not N95 certified. So your whole fucking style is whack, bro.
You're not. I know what you're doing, and altitude training isn't necessary for where you live. All right, how long gone? We are back on Wednesday. We'll see you soon. Get your tickets. Good night.
Bye-bye.
Wishing I was on the road. You take me off like Glasgow could be a place to go. I said to you yes, but I probably